Hello. At the moment, we're having a sustained couple of weeks of cold weather. It just felt like it was coming into spring and we just died down again. Anyway, so the week ahead is, the next few days is going to be pretty poor weather. So I've taken the decision that we're going to put the fire in. So stop everything, put the fire in, and I have to do that over the next 2 days. So I have all the bits, or I believe I have all the bits, so let's get going. I know that this stove is going to go sort of roughly there. I'm not precious about where it's going, but I do know that the flue has to go up through here. So I'm just going to start by drilling a hole, and that hole will dictate where the stove ultimately sits. Normally you'd do it the other way around and build the fire and put the flue to the appropriate position. But in this case, I have to put the flue to the appropriate position and have the fire connect. It'll make more sense when I do it. There is where it's gonna go. It's so cold that the generator thinks oil isn't circulating. I'm putting a little hole in here so that on the outside I know where the center I want the chimney to be, so I can cut a bigger hole. That's it! Go, electricity, be free. This is an inclined collar, and it's got an incline on it, which means it's the same as the roof. We got the little hole. Let's make that in the center. What I'm actually doing is putting a circle when this should be an oblique, because it should be a little bit like that. But that's okay, because I'll just cut out the circle and then I'll widen it with the angle grinder to make it fit. Of course it would start to rain. Supposed to be raining. No, rain, go away. There, that will stop the rain. Look, you can see the brightness over there. The reason the weather is so miserable, we have a northerly wind. That's north. Come this way. Interesting that this tiny little hole is providing more light into the boat than those 3 portholes. Ah, nice view. According to the weather forecast, it's going to start raining like this all week. So this is why I want to get the chimney collar done, set, covered over and ready to go, and then everything else can follow after that, because it can all be done indoors. A4 stainless steel. Carb cleaner. I'm going to put this, all of it, onto that, squish it down, bolt it in. Here we go. There's a bit of a dip there in the steel, so that there's plenty of excess now coming out. What I'll do is I'll let it set and then I'll just get a craft knife and remove it later. A4 stainless steel washers and nuts. Now we're going to lock it in place with a second nut. Now, if it rains for the rest of the week, problem solved. Here it is, the Morso 1410. These are so popular because you can get all the parts for them. I need to turn it around now and set up the flue so it comes out the top. Originally, the flue came out the back. I want the flue to come out the top. Boop. Those screws need to come off. This is a baffle plate and it's in the way. Way down in here, you can just lift it off because it's not, it just sits on the fire bricks. Let us put in some fire rope around here to provide a seal. Arp, arp. I have my fire rope cement. I don't know if you can see that. Right, anyway, the rope is in. Next is to attach this fella. Yeah, that knot's too long. So I'm gonna get the angle grinder and take the ends off. Oh well, my glasses broke. Rid of the old one. This collar is what the flue sits into, and I've just noticed it's got a beveled hole. That beveled hole matches that screw. So they're not supposed to be there. They're for this. So I have to reuse my little bolts, but I'm missing a tab, which means I'm going to have to make one. Of course now, because I've cut that nut or screw or fastener, it doesn't fit anymore because that has to cover the distance to bridge that gap. And it doesn't because somebody cut the end off. Well, that ends that. Well, it's now a matter of going on the internet and finding new bits. We have a screw fix just around the corner. So it'll be about a 10-minute walk to get there. And they have a pack of 50 M6 25mm A2, exactly the same things. I measured it. Now I have 50 of those screws, so I'll use 2 of them and have 48 left. I'm probably going to have to come up with a job that involves 48 of these. And now I need to make this little fella. Let's have a look at all my little bits. Oh, what's this? Oh yes, that'll do it. Okie dokie, now let's mark this fella out. So a nice hole drilled through that. Do the hole first. You can hear the rain. So we're going to use the old nut. Okay, so let's go in and put this up. Okay, that is done. I don't trust this rope. Yeah, that feels a lot better. You see the rope just sticking out. It feels so much more solid with the thicker rope on. So I'm gonna do the back one, take it off and put the thicker rope on. Good and solid. I've cut all the way around the wood. Now the reason I'm doing that is that once I put the tiles and everything on, it ain't going to move again. So I want to be able to take the floorboards up that are round, should I ever need to in the future, as the stove will be bolted down. So I'm just ensuring that the 80 by 80 centimeter for the board is separate from everything else. This is Fireboard, good for 1000 degrees centigrade. It's called Scumotech, I think, but it's calcium silicate Fireboard. Right, let's cut it to size. So last night we put down that board. I need to glue it down, and then I need to glue the tiles on top. Turbo set! That's that done. Is that it? Ooh, nice. Right, tiled and grouted. I'll just give this place a tidy up. I'm just going to keep putting in fire rope until no more fire rope will go in. That's enough. I'm going to pack that in. I also have fire cement. Pack in some fire cement. I broke the bricks. These are the bricks I broke. Now, I have ordered new ones, so they're on their way, but I'd like to light the fire because it's freezing. So, let's assemble this. Lovely. If you're wondering why it's crucial to have these, is because the baffle plate sits on top. There it goes, and that's how it goes. Interlocking, so it'll be that way. Very nice. Pulley here. First fire in Linda for what, 3 years or so. Look how much control I have. It slows it all down. Turn it back up. Oh yeah! It is amazing. Even though you can see how cold it is, but there is heat coming off it. The heat coming off it is keeping me warm, and actually it's quite pleasant here. Behind me it's freezing, and when I wave my hand around I can feel the cold, mainly because there's no insulation. But this is really pleasant to sit and watch the fire.